Oh, well, hey guys, ain't this a familiar sight? Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back to another phase.
Literally. So, at the time of recording, Legend of Zelda 2 Tears of the Kingdom would have dropped. So, we thought this would be a good time as any to really talk about what exactly Phase 2 is and where's it all going. But in order to talk about it, we need to talk about the beginning, which is everything after Smash Brothers. Now, like, almost a year has passed since we wrapped up filming Smash Brothers. How do you reflect on the film and like everything we did for the movie?
You know, the film still holds to its own. Like, the effects and the acting are all pretty good for its time. And I wasn't expecting to continue it at first, but then I'm like, well, I have to redeem all my movies. We did Snake 2 and Link 2, redeemed, nothing, right. And then we added Plumber, and that technically is connected now.
Not just that, but I feel like that's a redemption amongst itself.
That's
right?
a redemption because I canceled that shit.
Yeah, not just that, but like, you know, as you've said, like Phase 1 kind of sucks. And I like to hope that Season 1 of Plumber sucks. I like to feel like Season 3 of Plumber ended up being the best. But let's talk about what exactly has been happening with this phase. What exactly is this phase? So let's start off with Solid Snake 2.
Solid Snake 2.
So this is kind of like an interview-ish, slash us talking about things. I'm gonna dissect your little brain. I'm gonna dissect your brain a little bit. So Solid Snake 2, you guys started shooting, I want to say January of this year. Like, how was the production of that, and what exactly was the story that you were trying to convey?
Production was pretty good. Well, actually, I think I got my new camera in the process of that, because my old camera broke at the end of that, so in some shots you kind of saw blurriness. But it was pretty good. Like, the new actor pulled it off really well. Just hard to schedule. Other than that, it was really, really fun. And we tried to make it a sequel to Smash. Like, he has the Master Sword carrying on the legacy, so it's all connected. It's a sequel, it's not a ripoff. And originally, it was just, oh, we recast it because the actors moved. And then we were like, but what if there's a story?
What if there's a story behind certain things? So obviously...
So like Cole made a cameo in there in the Kodak Hall. Mm-hmm. And originally we just wanted to recast and make a fun movie to redeem my high school videos. And then we're like, wait, after the redemption is done, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
Let's actually make actors changing relevant.
We somehow crafted like a much bigger story. And that kind of ties into the post-credit scene of Solid Snake 2. Because that's really when we decided what the story of Phase 2 was going to be. When it was pretty much done filming, we had to film the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Which is, of course...
Now, Waluigi has the star again.
Well, hang on a second. Which is, not that post-credit scene. The Scythe scene.
Yes.
Without saying a name, because they don't know who it is just yet.
Ferrum.
There was Ferrum Mortis. Ferrum Mortis. That was his Scythe. And we are clearly building up to something, and that obviously bled right into Unknown Plumber Season 3. So that's where I'm going to ask you again, like, what was the process of making Unknown Plumber Season 3 from the beginning, and then what was your thought process when I kind of got one like, hey, can we make it again? Can we finish it? Can we do it? I have an idea.
At first I was like, no, the first season was shit. The second season was cringy, but you can tell that filmmaker's mind of going forward, like, we added a lot to it that made it work. And then everyone moved and no one was able to film again for a while. So I said, fuck it, we're not getting everyone back. We can't do it. And then time went on. As you saw me recast people, it's like, why can't we just do that for Plumber? Well, the original actors was the key to like the Plumber series. It was kind of unique. But we did recast Seiya, and we didn't recast the villain who Michael played because they were able to come back for it, and
somehow, some way, the villain that Michael played in Plumber, which was, by the way, one of the very first scenes I've ever shot, the one where he's in the white hood at on the bridge. Mm-hmm. I shot that during the pandemic. It was one of the very first things I've ever directed for you on your channel, so it kind of felt like a little bit of a legacy torch for me to kind of continue that over the line.
Yeah, when you started, we canceled it.
Exactly that! So I saw almost a responsibility to have to see the show to the end. So that's where I kind of said, no, I want to take over Plumber and I wanted to see it through. Because not just that, but at this point you already brought Neil back and saved the world. I felt like there was a story missing there, so we decided to finish season 3 and kind of explain how Neil ended up at Save the World.
Yeah, Save the World was our little show where me and Aries were just, hey, let's make a multiverse.
And somehow, someway, they grew a lot. Bobby's, Luigi's in it, and your medieval characters are in it.
Yeah.
The only people you didn't put in it were Death Note characters.
Well, we have the detective that Aries plays.
You see, here's the thing. I always thought that was just like the Selfie Police cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I never realized it was him. But anyway, so we started setting up Michael's character a little bit more in that film, which eventually leads us to Legend of Zelda. So when we first started like shooting this, I was originally going to go in as a fan. I told Brower, I want nothing to really do with this. However, and I mean that in like a good way, I just wanted to jump in and just watch solely as like a fan of the MCU for once. But eventually I kind of saw more on the lines of like, I helped out so much with Legend of Zelda, I cannot not be a part of this project. I really have to see it through.
Yeah, when you saw the script, like, oh, there's backstory on these characters in Smash.
Yeah, I added in a lot of like lore and context of things. I had to come in and just kind of like touch up some of the edits as I came back, and I just did sound all over overall. And if you look carefully, I may or may not even pop up in this movie. You just gotta look.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's not what you guys want to hear. You want to hear us talk about the post-credit scene. So, it's a continuation of everything that we accomplished in Unknown Plumber, and of course, Solid Snake. It's just kind of giving an update on where Ferrum Mortis is at this point in time, which is he is in Purgatory. And this leads us right into the very next film of our Phase 2, which is, of course, Waluigi 2, A Superstar Legacy. This film was written by our friend Cole Sorello.
Hi, I'm Cole Sorello, and I was the writer of Waluigi 2. I was brought onto this project because I had worked with these guys before with my role as Snake in Smash, and then having moved away and all that jazz, I've been working with Zaandarbrow and Shady and everyone on the team as like a visual effects artist. I had expressed interest in writing, and so a lot of the previous projects that had been going on, I was kind of like giving notes and feedback, and here's how, here's an idea for this and that. And they must have gotten annoyed with me because at some point they were just like, here's this idea that we have, take it and run with it. And I did, and I wrote this film. This script is an exploration of a character that we don't really know all too much about. At least when I approached it, I took it from the idea that Waluigi as a character has a lot of things that he's dealing with and needs to come to a sort of realization about who he is as a character. That was probably my approach to writing all of this. But in terms of the story, I also wanted to really push the overall narrative in a direction that people were probably not expecting, that's going to really up the ante in the next film. This film is probably one of the more important films of the entire phase, if not the entire MCU as a whole. This was the film that really should cement in people's minds that this is something that we're serious about. This is something that we're passionate about and something that we really want to put out there. And so we are not really holding back with this. This is a bit of a darker story than you would expect. It has its lighthearted moments, but we immediately realize the gravity of the situation at hand, and that the reality is not all of our favorite characters are maybe vulnerable to the plot. We had already seen little bits and pieces of that with Mario in Smash, spoilers for those who haven't watched it, dying. So we wanted to kind of convey to the audience that moving forward, maybe there are more things out there that you should be cautious of, and that the characters should be a little scared of.
It's one of the first times that he's actually ever wrote for us, and I have to say, it's a beautiful script. I think he came up with a phenomenal story that dives deeper into what exactly is going on. It gives more weight to the Waluigi character, and Wario especially. And it's a buddy cop movie of sorts, where you see Wario, Waluigi, and Naomi have to have a very unlikely alliance to see through to finding a certain objective. That's as much as I'm going to go into it as of this moment, but I'm very, very excited to see what you guys think as that movie comes out.
Also, by the way, I don't know exactly where this is going to be in the edit, but I did want to mention this. Waluigi 2, A Superstar Legacy, is also going to be the very first film co-directed by Bobby Becker?
Bobby Becker the Fourth.
Bobby Becker the Fourth. Bobby's been a part of the channel since last year. He made a small appearance in Smash Brothers.
And Sabercom.
But of note, other things that you might not have known he's done, he actually helped direct the fight in Unknown Plumber, which led us to like give him a shot with this upcoming death battle, which hopefully by the time this video is out, that video will also be out as well. Luigi versus Waluigi, he directed that, and I think he did a superb job, which led us to say, hey, I think you have the chops. Would you be interested in directing a mainline NCU film along Brower, just because I still think he's a little fresh. I honestly do feel like he can direct solely by himself, and there is a film later in Phase 3 we will not announce today that, well, he is going to direct at some point in Phase 3. Bobby's been a wonderful talent, and I just can't wait to see what he does with Waluigi, A Superstar Legacy.
I have high hopes with Bobby. Bobby being our director, co-director for this film, is definitely going to be a fun ride because from what I've seen of Bobby on the channel so far, portraying his roles as Luigi and of various other supporting characters throughout the series, it's very, very apparent that Bobby takes things seriously and has a lot of passion and heart for these characters and these stories and this entire, I guess, franchise at this point. So to have someone so passionate and dedicated behind the making of this film and behind the camera is just the most amazing and exciting thing I could possibly ask for. And I think Bobby is going to bring an energy and a sense of drama and seriousness and a tone to this film that is going to rival that of the other films and really put this film on the map of like, you guys need to watch this.
I know you're gonna do great, Bobby. And here's Bobby with a few words.
Hi, how are you doing, everybody? My name is Bobby, and you probably see my face a lot more around the channel. I start off playing a lot of the lesser characters, but as you can be able to see, I become a lot bigger part of the Zaandarbrow project. And if you did not know by now, I will be co-directing for the Waluigi 2 movie. So this right here is a big opportunity, and I'm very excited. I have a lot of ideas I can be able to put to be able to help, you know, boost this to be the best thing it can be, best next blockbuster type stuff. And I just want to be able to sit here and be able to not only tell all of you, you know, I appreciate the fact, you know, that you guys have watched the stuff till now, and we all highly appreciate it over at Zaandarbrow Productions, because none of this would be possible without all of you. So I want to say thank you, while at the same time I hope that the effort and all the hard work that I put in, that you guys enjoy it, and let's have some fun together.
Waluigi 2 is a story of hardship and a testament to what friends can do during hard times to support each other. Also, he's coming for you. You better prepare.
So what else is coming out besides that? That's the only film we've announced. So before we talk about the big one, I want to talk about a small project. We're here to announce a brand new series of films that will be connected into the NCU, but will tell much smaller stories that will add context and weight to the film. We're here to announce NCU trophies, and basically they're going to tell very small and contained stories in the NCU. And it's just a fun way to tell like certain things. Like for example,
Get your DLC character.
yeah, like what is Bullet Bill's backstory? Now with NCU trophies, you can now know. Now, another thing too, you don't have to watch trophies. It's not something that you need to watch like a mainline NCU film. But if you do watch it, you get a little bit more nugget of information. And we have the first film in the pipeline to announce. And with it would be my pleasure to let Reese Maynard, the Knife Stalker himself, announce this project. Take it away, Reese.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I am here to officially announce the first installment of this new sub-series that Zaandarbrow is producing called Trophies. And the first of these is going to be called Pokemon Trainer at Law. And I am going to be writing this film and also starring in it. It's going to be about, as you can tell, Ash Ketchum. We are officially putting Ash Ketchum in the NCU, even though he did appear in Quarantine Mario Brothers, but it was like briefly, very briefly, very minor. Now he's going to have like a fully fleshed out role, and that will hopefully lead to him appearing once again at some point down the line. But yeah, no, Pokemon is going to be the very first installment of the trophy series, and I'm really excited to have this opportunity to write this with Shady and come down to Florida whenever I possibly can and film this. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk in detail about like how long it's going to be if I'm not cut this part out. But it's going to be 3 episodes long, and each episode will be about roughly 10 minutes, I would say. And you're probably thinking to yourself, it's going to just be Pokemon, right? Not really. I'm not going to give too much away about what the story will be, but this is going to be very different from what you're expecting. And I can't wait to see what y'all think of it. So thank you, Brower and Shay, for having me on this video. See you later.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. I am so excited to see what the Knife Stalker brings to the NCU. It's going to be an original story that kind of tells what happened to Ash after the events of Quarantine. Very excited to see what Reese does with it. This is going to be a very fun film, and I look forward to seeing what Reese's interpretation, what Reese, the guy who critiques the NCU like crazy, what he can bring to our universe. Well,
Yeah.
with that being said, though, we have one last project to announce. You obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you know what it is. It's a passion project of mine that I've been developing for almost a year, the sequel to Smash itself. Super Smash Brothers, A Link Between Worlds. So, what can I tell you about the Link Between Worlds so far? It is a continuation of the scene that you see in Save the World, Episode 11, when Link meets Neil. I will confirm to you right now that that scene is a scene from this movie. Now, how exactly that's going to be built upon, let's just wait to see. But I will say it is a link between worlds, so worlds are going to collide faster than you think. And I will also confirm to you who the main villain of the story is going to be. It's going to be Seiya, a character that's been built up since Unknown Plumber. Michelle Williams is going to be taking the role once again.
Melanie.
And I look forward to seeing what she brings. Other people that I'm going to announce for the project so far, the only one really worthy of note that I can announce at this moment in time outside of these 3, outside of myself, Billy himself is Neil, and Melanie as Seiya, I'm going to leave you with a nugget. Neil has a rivalry with a certain character.
You all know who that is.
Yeah. I would like to announce that the conclusion of that arc will be in this movie. I look forward to seeing what you guys think of what we do and how certain aspects close. Now,
And if you're wondering, but wait, in Plumber, episode 23, it's said to be continued. Is this not a finale or a final season of Plumber? Well, that was a prequel to Smash, so it's to be continued in Smash.
to basically kind of put it like this, Season 3 led into Smash. The storylines that were left open in Season 3 will be concluded in Smash 2.
Yep.
If you're lost at this point, it's on you. I do look forward to seeing what you guys think. Now, when can you expect certain things to come out? Well, I will say this.
2024.
Waluigi itself, we're expecting that to drop around Halloween time 2023. A Link Between Worlds will definitely drop late 2024. I look forward to seeing what you guys think of this movie. It's definitely going to be the biggest and most expensive one to date.
As we have Dave Filoni himself, George Lucas, and our friend Jon Favreau behind the camera.
Oh wow, that was thunder. Anyway.
The power of Jon Favreau, aka Cole Cirillo.
Yeah.
Or Bobby.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like at this point Bobby's more like Jon Favreau. Cole is like...
Kathleen Kennedy.
No, my God. Cole, like, there was a guy from Lucasfilm who actually invented Photoshop. I see Cole as that guy.
Bob Iger.
No, not Bob Iger. Anyways, so that's about it. Robert, do you have anything else you want to add?
Stay tuned and comment below. Let us know what you all think, because we love to read your comments.
Actually, another thing too, I would like to leave you off with this. I've told you little nuggets of what's happening next. I'd like to see in the comments below what you think will happen. Let's see your theories. Maybe they're true. We'll find out. I dare you to try.
Yes!
Peace out up in here.